The beautiful Irish hills of Brooklyn, Michigan is the location of stop number 24 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series. And it's also the home of Michigan Speedway, the big 2-mile D-shaped racetrack that today is home of the Champion Spark Plug 400 as we're set for 30 laps of racing on this 2-mile racetrack. And let's get started on the lineup for this running event. The event on the pole is Johnny Gardner, car number 22 of the Discount Tires Dodge. It's his first pole of the season. As a matter of fact, I think it's his first pole of the season. He'll be alongside Kyle Matthews in car number 24. The Net Zero Chevrolet starts on the outside. Second row has car 17, the RB's Ford of Jessica Shelton. 3-time winner so far here, like Kyle Matthews. Also a 3-time winner of the season so far. Jess's wins came at North Wilkesboro, Riverside, and the recent race on the tour at Watkins Glen, while Matthews won the Daytona 500 Atlanta and the first visit to Michigan. Anyway, Jess starts third, starting fourth alongside of her is Chris Dallerton in the 23 Stacker 2 Chevy. He won twice this season so far. And Chris has one of our in-car cameras today. Third row has Levi McIntyre in 60, the winner at Richmond, and the winner at Pocono. The first Pocono race is Charles Sanford, 29. Fourth row has car number 3, Cole Deaver, and number 2, Dylan Young. Young was the winner of the season at New Hampshire. Going to row 5 has 2-time winners Zachary Fitzwater and winner at Sonoma, Joshua Collarden, 43. Going to row number 6, we'll have Matt McIntyre in 37 and number 36, Carter Friesen, alongside in the Stanley Tools Pontiac. Next row down, both these drivers carry in-car cameras today. Joshua Osborne, winner of the Brickyard 400 in car 33, and number 32, Keith Batson in the White Rain Ford. Batson yet to win a race this season so far, let's see if he can do it today. Next row down has the winner at Rockingham, Benny Watson, and 2-time winner this season, Jesse Turner in car 27, the Castrol GTX Chevy. He won a season at the second Pocono race. He also won it the first visit to Martinsville. Next row down has car 38, Nathan Hudson, and number 14, winner at Darlington, Benjamin Miles in the Navy Chevy. Next row down, Quentin Moore in car 89. Usually seems to run well here at Michigan in the Racing for Jesus Chevy. See if he can do it here today. He'll be alongside car 21, the winner of the first race at Talladega, Gene Sanford. Next row down has number 18, Ashlyn Boyd, in 88, the winner of the sister track on the circuit at California Speedway. It's Jay Jefferson in 88. Next row down has William Brock in the winner of the 600 at Charlotte, and the number 4 Geico Chevy, and number 15 Eli Bright alongside. Next row down, Mike Becker in 45 of Sprint Phone Card Chevy. And number 8, the Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shop Chevy of Rob Evans. Next row down has Cat Batson in number 9 and number 34, Trey Wright. Next row down has Aiden Shepard in 00 and number 62, South Point Hotel Casino Chevy of Sky Commons. Next row down has number 87, Dion Moon in the Bell South Mobility Chevy. And number 7, Geico Chevy of Zach Winkle. Next row down has Simon Bloomfield number 10 and number 12, Mitchell Collins. Next row down has Elijah Gordon in 66, the Duraflame Dodge, and number 74, South America Phenolube Chevy of James Henry. Next row down has number 63, Diego Yepes in the Lysol Pontiac, and number 5, Ryan Brommer in the GMAC Chevy. Next row down is Henry Sanford, number 57, the Orlando French Fries Chevy, and number 1, Yellow Transportation Dodge of Bobby Frazier. And starting shotgun the field will be the winner of the Pepsi 400 this season, Vince Almarego in the Shell Pontiac, car number 44. Again, our in-car cameras today will be carried by Joshua Osborne in the 33 car, Keith Batson in 32, and number 23, Chris Dollarton. Those three will be carrying our in-car cameras in today's event at Michigan Speedway. It's our second of 2 visits here on this racetrack. We had a great race in the first visit to Michigan with Kyle Matthews, that starts alongside in row number 1. Taking the win in that race, he's going for the Michigan Sweep. Can he do today? Well, there's a possibility he could, but there's also 40 other drivers who could be the prime protagonist in today's event, though. In other words, 41 cars all going for one thing, that's victory. Here comes the fire the entrance at Michigan.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
command game of the party engines for today's race here at Michigan, as the field begins to roll off pit road. Three of the manufacturers currently have the top 5 spots in qualifying here. 2 Fords, 2 Chevrolets, and a Dodge. And that lone Dodge, of course, is on the pole for this event here. Johnny Gardner, the pole sitter, qualified at 202 miles per hour for the pole in today's event. And this track here in Michigan, very, very fast. It's also very competitive, too, and of course this track's wide enough where you can see 3, 4, sometimes 5 abreast racing on this racetrack here. And starting beside him, Kyle Matthews, whose points lead an amazing 347 points over the driver in starting position, Jessica Shelton. And those are the only 2 drivers with 3 wins on the season. This season has been very, very competitive, despite the huge points lead that Matthews has got. This season has been very, very competitive. You got about, I think, 3 two-time winners this season so far, and the rest of the ones who's won has all been one-time winners. So we'll see what happens here today. Do we see another different winner? We'll find out here in 30 laps. So champion spark plug 400 is on. And already back there, look at this, 4 wide. Sound like Jeff Gordon here. But anyway, they come through turns 1 and 2. Somebody's got to back off that second turn here. Wow. 4 wide right on the start here, and Kyle Matthews, actually, I was going to say it was the leader, but now Johnny Gardner's pulled ahead to already a comfortable advantage so far. Matthews is second, third is Shelton, then Deaver, and then Sampers. They come to the start-finish line to complete the first lap, which Johnny Gardner will have out in front. And Levi McIntyre going a slight bit backwards as the McIntyres are running nose to tail. Levi in the 60 and the 37 of Matt McIntyre. No relation to each other, by the way. And Matt about to go toe-to-toe and now with Joshua Osborne in number 33, the winner of the Brickyard 400 at Indy. And you're on board Joshua Osborne's car number 33. About to get the draft off Matt McIntyre's car as they come off as they go into turn number 1. Osborne at 209 miles per hour into turn number 1. And as the back way off, as now Chris Dallerton looks to the high side looks to the low side, I should say, and now you're on board Dallerton's car. 2-time winner season so far currently third in the standings. I think third in the standings so far, so great season for Dallerton so far in his comeback year. I tell you what, when Dallerton comes to racing a series, he usually comes over to play hardball with those guys. Dallerton, one very scrappy Texas driver, and he is certainly proven it this season so far. In fact, Texas is home to one of his wins this season so far in the Interstate Batters 500. Now he and Carter Friesen go at it. Friesen in 36, whose best finish this season has been a third. That coming at the Brickyard 400 at Indy, where he laid a tremendous performance that day. Friesen up to the 10th position right now in car 36, as Johnny Gardner continues to lead here. Jessica Shelton now goes into second place. Third is Charles Sanford. Jess going for her second victory in a row. She won the last race in the tour, as we said, at Watkins Glen. And here comes Sanford to the low side in car 29. Matthews dropping a spot back in the 24 car. And Sanford going to get the draft off Matthews' car as it come up. And oh, Shelton's got a problem! Problems on the 17 of Jessica Shelton as she's coming down pit road. That's number 2 in the points right there. and see if it's going to be a pit stop or what. And it's going to be an unscheduled stop for the Arby's Ford. And 65 miles an hour down pit road. And that is a killer for that 17 team. And Shelton's going to come back on the pit road, and they are going to lap her. As meantime, Johnny Gardner getting a shove from Charles Sanders. Now Jessica Shelton now goes a lap down, so she's no longer on the lead lap. And unfortunately, in this series, there's no lucky dogs neither, so that's really going to spell doom and gloom for the 17 team. And it's a shame for Shelton, too, because she's another one that usually runs pretty well at Michigan herself. Meantime, back up front, it's Gardner, Sanford, Matthews, and Deaver, the top four. And you talk about another one, and you talk about one of the drivers that's having a indifferent season as he did last season. Deaver coming off of a season 21 championship with the colors of his hero Dale Earnhardt, where he won the season 21 championship. Well, season 22 has been a bit indifferent for Deaver. He's run good in some races. But if more than anything else, it's been kind of bad luck for Deaver's machine at the moment. And look who's up to the 5th position. Give a call to Matt McIntyre in the 37 car. A very good run with that Timberwolf Pontiac. And that's the only 2003 Pontiac in the field, by the way. He's running. But back to what I was saying about Deaver, by the way, he's yet to win a race this season so far, and he could do it today, possibly here at Michigan. We'll find out here in the 22 laps to come. But his shining moment this season was, of course, the win in the Winston Open, or should I say, excuse me, a win in the Winston All-Star race at Charlotte. Top 5 has broken away right now. Here comes Kyle Matthews to the low side, Sanford to the high side, and now Matthews takes second position away again, dropping Charles back to third. And here comes Matt McIntyre for that 4th position to the low side of Deaver. Chris Dalton, fast car so far today. For that 23 team, he's up to 6th. Chris Dalton in 6th position, and look at this gaggle of cars. Joshua Osborne, Dylan Young, Carter Friesen, Quentin Moore, Levi McIntyre, Benjamin Miles, Jesse Turner, and 39 car of Zachary Fitzwater, and Turner's another one. And bear in mind, with Shelton now out of the race, Jesse Turner is going to be licking his chops to pick up some points himself because he came in this race barely behind Shelton in 3rd spot. So Jesse Turner so Jesse Turner, as of right now, will be 2nd place in the things coming out of Michigan. Unless, of course, he drops back, though, and then somehow Dalton can pick up as well. But of course, you do know of course, you do know with all this problems happening right there, that is going to play in the hands of one driver, and that's this man right there, Kyle Matthews. As we said, his points lead coming into this race is already 347 coming into Michigan. That's how dominant that 24 team's been, regardless of the paint scheme. This is the 3rd race he's carried this net zero paint scheme, by the way. He carried it first at the 2nd race at Talladega. And here comes Matthews for the lead on Gardner. They go to turn number 1, and Comet is dips low. Has lead for by about a bumper for the moment, but Gardner's got the bite on the outside of the track, and Sanford's going to go with him. But now Matt McIntyre's going to join in on the fun. He's going to try to push Kyle to the number 1 spot himself. Battle of the drafts happening here. You got a 3-car draft on the low side as Deaver joins in behind Matthews and McIntyre. And now Matt's going to say, Matt had thoughts of saying, screw it, I want to go 3 wide. They're going to be side by side. Gardner led barely that time by. And here comes Matthews coming back on the inside of the low group of the track. You can swear, you remember when Matthews won here back in the first race in Michigan, the Miller Lite 400, he had the Pepsi paint scheme on a 2000 Monte Carlo. And here he's got a 2001 Monte Carlo. No, it's a 2002 Monte Carlo, excuse me, what he's driving. Same number, and you can bet it's about almost the same setup he had in the first race here at Michigan, because that car is running just like it did. And here comes Deaver for second place, another 02 Monte Carlo. So you got two of the biggest numbers in NASCAR, the 24 and the 3 going at it, kind of the old Gordon-Earnhardt rivalry. And by the way, that was a good show they showed on Fox Sports 1 as well, too. Anyway, so Kyle Matthews jumps to the point. Cole Deaver second position. A battle between Ohio and Georgia, and throw New York in there, too, at Johnny Gardner. Gardner ain't giving up and said, hey, I had that lead. I won it back. And Chris Thornton, meanwhile, has moved up to the fourth position as he's gotten by Charles Sanford. And Matt McIntyre's dropped back a slight. McIntyre's dropped back to the sixth position at the moment as he's now about ready to go toe-to-toe with Dylan Young in the 2. Young is in 7th place right now in the number 2 AC Delco Chevy. On board Chris Thornton's car. Thornton came into this race 4th place in the points coming in here in Michigan. And so far, Matt McIntyre with the only lap so far at over 200 miles per hour here in race trim. With a lap of 200.223. Everybody else has been 199 in the top 10 list. And that is including Darton as the 4th fastest lap of the race so far. He rides started right now behind Matthews and Deaver. We're just past halfway home right now. 17 laps in the books and 13 to go here at Michigan. And here comes Cole Deaver for the lead. Deaver the husky driver Deaver the tough driver, one of the tough drivers in the field out of Brunswick, Georgia. Which is not far from the Florida line, by the way. You would think, of course, him being from Georgia, he's Atlanta would be his home track. And actually, it's not. It's actually Daytona. It's actually his home track, not Atlanta. And look at this mess right there for the lead. Here comes Gardner, 3-way between Heath, Sanford, and Matthews. Dollarton up back to 4th position as now Matthews been shoved up the track. Deaver's going to take the lead. And we, by the way, saw the problems with the 87 car, apparently, with Dion Moon. Yep, and he's out of the race in the 87 car. So Dion Moon is now out, and it was a valve problem on the 87 Bell South Mobility Chevrolet. So good news for Shelton. She's not going to finish dead last in this race. That's the good news for her, at least. In the meantime, battle for second, Johnny Gardner now going by Charles Sanford, but Charles is going to Charles is looking to the low side here, but nothing doing there. So Gardner takes second place right now, as we're now coming up on 10 laps to go. 10 to go in the Champion Spark Plug 400. And look at this field. They're all together right now. There is Young going past Dalton. Here comes Matt McIntyre another time. And look who's come to dinner, the 89 car. That's Quentin Moore. We say he runs good at Michigan usually. Well, here he is. Up in the top 10. Looking low on Benjamin Miles. Now he's going to try to look low on Matt McIntyre for a position. Nothing doing for him. Jesse Turner goes by. Here comes Gene Sanford in the 21 car, along with Levi McIntyre in the 60 car. And rear bumper came from Joshua Osborne's car, looking right at Levi McIntyre's car, along with also Carter Friesen. As Osborne tries to go by Gene Sanford, nothing doing there, and now Friesen looks low on him as well. And throw in Nathan Hudson and Benny Watson in this mix right now, the 38 and the 99 cars. Let's see where they're running right now here. Sanford going by. You saw Zachary Fitzwater go by Jesse Turner. Osborne this time by, clocked in the 12th position right now. Sanford up to 11th, and Jesse Turner in 10th. McIntyre's 13th. 14th is Hudson. Miles is 15th, and Friesen 16th. 17th is Watson. 18th is Collard. Shelton again not on the lead lap in 40th. Tough break for her, as we said. She was going for the lead when all this happened too. Keith Batson's 19th. 20th is Jay Jefferson. Then it's Trey Wright and Ashlyn Boyd. In the meantime, it looks to me like we had a lead change here according to the ticker, and we do. It's Charles Sanford. Charles Sanford up to the top spot here in Michigan as he's looking for his third victory second victory of the season. He won the season at the first stop at Pocono. Johnny Gardner, though, he's not yet won this season, though, and he would like to change all that. Coming down to the start finish line. This will be the completion of lap number 24. We have 6 to go. Average speed almost 197 miles per hour, 196,864 to be exact. And here comes Gardner with the help of Kyle Matthews for the lead. Matthews is getting into it. Dalton's getting into it. Deaver's getting into it now. 5 cars you can about throw a blanket over. Racing for the win here at Michigan. And Matthews and Sanford both going to be the ones. We're both going to be the odd ones on the high side, because here comes Gardner for the lead. Here comes Deaver going to make a 3-way between he, Sanford, and Dalton. On board with Chris Dalton in third spot. Nice trying to get a sniff of the draft off Johnny Gardner's car. Deaver to the low side. He's gonna get the hit. He's gonna get some help here with the form of Dylan Young. No, gets it in the form of Kyle Matthews. Matthews squeezed between Deaver and Young in the turn number 1, and it's gonna be Matthews up to 4th, I think now. No, that's actually gonna be 3rd spot here. That shoves Dalton back to 4th. Can Johnny Gardner hold on for his first victory? Cole Deaver, he's also looking for his first of the season. Dalton trying to become the 3rd driver to win in 3 races this season. Joining Kyle Matthews and Jessica Shelton on that list. 27 in the books, 3 to go. Dalton low side on Deaver. And it's Chris Dalton in 2nd place now. Dalton with the eye now on the 22 of Johnny Gardner. Off turn number 2. Poetry in motion at almost 200 miles per hour here at Michigan Speedway. That's what the separation is like from 1st to 2nd right there. Cars 22 and 23 going at it. 2 laps to go. Margin right now, 23 hundredths of a second between the 1st and 2nd place cars. Gardner versus Dalton versus Deaver. 2 Chevys and a Toyota, and throwing actually 4 Chevys and a Toyota right there. Matthews in 4th, Sanford in 5th. Here comes Deaver to the low side on Dalton. Dalton says, nuh-uh. They want to get the draft up to the 22 car to try to get a run at him here. As they're coming for the white flag. It'll be 1 lap to go. Does anybody have anything for Johnny Gardner on his last lap? Through turns 1 and 2, the Discount Tire Dodge out of Penske Racing out in front. Dodge has not won much this season. They've only won twice, and both of them was with the 39 car of Zachary Fitzwater at Bristol and again at Dover. And Dodge looks like they're going to get their 3rd victory of the season. Here's off turn number 4. Deaver and Dalton battle for 2nd, but when it counts up front, It's car number 22, Johnny Gardner, wins at Michigan. And for second place, it goes to Chris Dollerton, Cole Deaver third, Kyle Matthews fourth, fifth, Charles Sanford, Dylan Young sixth. And how about Matt McIntyre, seventh place for him in the 37 car. Eighth to Quentin Moore, Gene Sanford ninth, and 10th to Joshua Osborne. But a great day for Gardner Motorsports as the number 22 Discount Tire Dodge goes to Victory Lane. Johnny Gardner, his first win of the season, averaging 196.572, and a great finish we had here today. It was actually great racing we had today at Michigan. Not going to lie on that. So 24 races are in the books, and 10 races are left to go. Here's the next race on the tour will be at Bristol Motor Speedway for some short tracking at night. Always a great race there for sure with the Busch 500. Rest of the finishing order for you here today. Here, Benjamin Miles comes home in 11th, 12th, Zachary Fitzwater, Nathan Hudson 13th, Levi McIntyre 14th, Carter Friesen 15th, Benny Watson 16th, Jesse Turner drops to 17th in the 27 car, Keith Batson 18th, 19th will go to Joshua Collard, 20th Jay Jefferson, 21st Trey Wright, 22nd to Mike Becker, then Ashlyn Boyd, Rob Evans, William Brock, the top 25, then Kat Batson, Sky Cummins, Eli Bright, Elijah Gordon, Aiden Shepard to the top 30. Rest of the finishing order for here: Simon Bloomfield, James Henry, Ryan Brommer, Vince Almarego, Mitchell Collins, Bobby Frazier, Zach Winkle, Henry Sanford, and Diego Yepes was the last the lead lap finishers. Jessica Shelton, the only one, unfortunately for her, to finish a lap down in 40th, and that's going to be a huge killer for her in the points. But at least she wasn't Dion Moon, because his car suffered because his Nimco Motorsports entry suffered a valve failure and ends up finishing dead last in 41st. So that's the story from Michigan Speedway here. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got interesting gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for his channel. And please be sure to check out our Cavalcade series, including the Last of Us Live series, Pizza Hut X series, Hershey's Cup series, Coors Light Truck series, Skittle Super Speedway series, and then brand new Duracell Cup series. Be sure to check those series out as well as Michael Norman's Budweiser All Pro series. That's also featured on his channel as well. And to subscribe and to keep up on the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup series, be sure to subscribe to Thrash Maniac 99. He'll get you going on that series as well. He'll get you going on that series. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Some of the best offline series are under the NNSCRA umbrella, and you will not regret checking those races out neither. So that will do it today at Michigan Speedway. Congratulations again to Johnny Gardner, the winner of the Champion Spark Plug 400. For now, this is James Squalls with the production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you at Bristol for some nighttime short tracking. Frank,
did you have any ignition problems?